Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Ethan, and this is my co-host, Greg. And we are here today with another
Thor's Raven
Kickstarter campaign update number 4, believe it or not. And, well, as usual, we're going to go and we're going to check out the stats, the backer count, as well as how much money it's made so far.
So at 10:17 Eastern Time, we're reporting that there are 10,945 backers, and we have broken that $1 million mark. We're at $1,013,185, which, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown. I think that's only maybe 30-40 grand from yesterday's total about this time, maybe 50 grand.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit less stretch goals that we unlocked. They did a nice little $20,000 stretch goal.
They did.
But maybe were you going to run us through what we've unlocked since the last Thor's Raven there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we first had Captain Britain. Obviously, was the next go-to. She's unlocked. Then 20,000, right?
20,000 after
20,000 after her. We got generic equipment cards, which
the 1 million mark.
That is the 1 million mark, and basically, you might be thinking, well, there's probably some heroes that might feel left out with these equipment cards, right? Because obviously they can't make one for every character. That'll be too much. And so they thought, well, why not make some generic equipment? Equipment any hero can use. And that is what they did here. Pretty interesting. And also, was that all the stretch goals that came out today?
That's the only things we have unlocked since the last show. Captain Britain and these generic cards. There's 8 of them, and they're broken in. There's 4 pairs, excuse me. So there's only 4 different kinds, but each one is doubled up. So you've got your body armor, 2 body armors, communication device, 2 communication, makeshift weapon, 2 of those, and airlift. Looks like a little Quinjet on here.
That's awesome.
2 of those as well. That's what was part of that generic. So these can be used on any hero at all, which is kind of cool.
There's no specific rule as to how many equipment cards a player could have. So, right, I mean, there's no clarification if it's just 1 per hero or 2 or whatever. So, obviously, I know there's going to be a limit, right? You can't have all of the generic equipment cards. That'll be way too much. But it'd still be pretty cool. I mean, we have, obviously, like you said, right, the body armor. And just to read a couple of them, what the body armor does is says, use on a villain turn, ignore 1 damage that you would take. Then, turn this face down. So, obviously, you can protect yourself from getting damaged, which is awesome. The communication device, it says, use on your turn if there are no other heroes in your location. You can use a heroic symbol, then turn this face down. So if you're the only hero in that location, you can you can turn it face down, the communication, and you can perform a heroic in that location. Very nice. Makeshift weapon, kind of the same thing, the same deal. You can use it on your turn. You can defeat 1 minion, 1 thug in your location, and then turn this face down. So pretty cool right there. And obviously you have the airlift, use on your turn. You get the move, you get an extra move symbol, and then turn this face down. Yeah, so some very basic things, but
a way we made to balance some of the older characters out just a little bit. Now, were you telling me when you use equipment, you got to get rid of your wild cards? Was that you saying that?
That was the designer saying that as well. So, saying it makes it more fair.
It's kind of an interesting trade, right? Because, I mean, like you said, depends how many equipment cards you can get, because I'm giving up a wild to have this card. Now, the benefit is I can use this anytime I want. Yeah. I can get that extra move anytime I want. And if that wild doesn't come up till the end, it's not going to help me anyway. So, I thought that was kind of an interesting way to another strategy decision when you're setting up your team, right? Hey, I love this guy, but he doesn't move enough. Well, maybe this one little extra move will do it, because it's kind of interesting, right? The heroes that have equipment kind of built into them, they have ways of flipping that card back over.
Yeah.
That equipment card. Maybe there will be a way to flip these back over too. I don't know. Kind of interesting.
It'll be pretty interesting, and obviously, just a lot more strategy, but also for those in-depth reviews in the future, now we're gonna be, reviewing it in kind of not in a totally different way, but in a different way for sure. Now that we're gonna add this equipment cards, obviously we'll be talking about if they already have an equipment card, we'll be talking about it, but if they don't, well, in the in-depth review, we'll talk about what is the best generic, what's it called? Piece? Or equipment that hero can use. And obviously, how does that impact on the team versus team and things like that. So a lot more in-depth things to go through for the next Kickstarter. Just seeing
still more stuff
the new equipments and things like that. So that's very interesting. Yeah. I am looking forward to it.
I'm going to be honest, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Probably the thing I'm most excited about, since we don't have a lot of news today, briefly I'll cover it. This will be a short episode, I'm sure. The thing we're waiting on to unlock is Iron Patriot.
Yes.
Now, Iron Patriot is Norman Osborn, which most people recognize as the Green Goblin.
The Green Goblin.
But there was a storyline during the Secret Invasion that basically Norman Osborn helped out in the Secret Invasion to develop the Iron Patriot. And he basically formed a coalition of powerful villains to oppose the Illuminati, and that was called the Cabal. Now, I always remember the Cabal was more like a Red Skull thing, but anyway, he basically brought together like Namor, Doctor Doom, Emma Frost, Loki, and Taskmaster is what they've got here. So when Iron Patriot plays, all his henchmen are those characters. The Loki, the Emma Frost, the Doom, these powerful characters, not just these low-level characters. Now, what I thought was exciting is all those henchman cards have two sides.
That's right.
One side, usually a card says the side, it's the henchman, what you gotta do to beat him, or what he causes at the end of a turn. You flip it over, it just says threat. When you flip these over, they can now. So, for example, the Loki henchman card, when you flip it over, now you can put it. There's a spot on the Iron Patriot villain dashboard to put these on there. Now they're in charge of the Cabal, and Iron Patriot becomes one of the henchmen instead.
That's really
That's awesome. And like it says on here, if you have the other characters, well, now you can actually use that minifig instead.
Yeah.
Drop him in there, take Iron Patriots out of there. So now you've basically created a group where you can have 6 different bad guys running that Cabal. Just a little bit different twist. I thought that was awesome.
That's pretty cool. I do like that.
Bringing in the old sets.
Yeah.
Using the old characters in new ways. Getting more money for that, more juice for your money that you bought. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's cool that it also says that you can fight this hero basically in 6 different ways, obviously, with the different hirings that you can put. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, I say.
So that and that's just one villain. That's just one guy, and there's 6 different ways to play against him.
Yeah,
I do like that.
That's pretty awesome. And we're a little spoiled. We have all those characters.
We do.
So we could actually pop the mini out and drop them on. I guess I'll just mention real quick before we wrap up. There was some more painting galleries out there today, since there wasn't a lot of news on stretch goals. So it'll be interesting to see how this campaign plays out. We've gotten, the first campaign kind of did a lot of the Marvel characters, and that drives people. Second campaign did the X-Men, and we know the X-Men are popular. Some of these characters people have been waiting on, but we're definitely digging deep. But there has been what I think this brings, and why this is exciting to get. It's not just a character. Now, I like Black Bolt. I like Lockjaw, like you do. But these, I get it. These are more obscure, right? These are more comic book fan characters, and that's not going to drive maybe a huge fan base. But what I think the fans need to think about is the gameplay that's coming with this set is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
the way you can do different things, the way these villains play. It's just going to bring replayability to unbelievable scale. If you didn't already have it from just the sheer number, now you got all these the equipment. There's just fantastic stuff being added to this, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. Things that I didn't really think were going to be added at all. And yet they're here, and it's just going to be amazing. And obviously for our side, it's a little bit more work on the in-depth reviews on every hero. But honestly, it's kind of worth it as well. It's kind of the fun of it. Instead of just, talking, about certain things. And
it's not just a balance of hits and a couple of superpowers, which is what makes it cool and thematic. But this is just, there's just different ways to play this game.
Yeah. It's just so cool.
Yeah, they just keep milking the different, variability out of this game system that is just on the surface is a very simple game. But they just find ways to just kind of make it a little bit different, and it's pretty awesome.
They do, and I truly can't wait to see what comes up next. Especially with knowing a lot of the characters that we are yet missing. Obviously, like you said, comic book fans more, but today was kind of a very slow day. But obviously, throughout the weeks, it'll pass. Hopefully, it'll pass the first season. And we'll probably get a couple of more expansions that'll boost up the campaign. And some of the heroes that everybody's asking for is, for example, Enchantress or Angela, as well as Lady Sif and Gwenom. It's Spider-Gwen.
But
Venom.
I still think there's a Spider-Verse
Aurora
box coming
as well.
Aurora would be one.
Aurora would be fun. So that's what everybody's kind of asking for right now. But right now, excuse me, everybody is so excited with the Black Bolt and with Lockjaw right now. Like, everybody is just satisfied. Like, if the campaign ended tomorrow, they are going to be happy, basically. So that's a great thing for the fans, obviously, and for all of us.
I want more.
But I still want more. I want
a crazy $300 all-in that's got a giant box full of characters and 7-8 expansions. That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Plus all the other stuff we have as well.
There's so much. There's stuff that can wake everybody up. There's stuff from the Secret Wars that could be done with the sheriff. Doctor Strange, the Johnny Storm in the Sky. I mean, there's whole story's crazy, and there's more. There's more. How about that from the What If cartoon, right? I mean, the Ultron that's got all the stones.
There's no Watu. There's no the Watcher.
The Watcher, yeah.
There's no Watcher.
He would be a good hero to have.
Ultron
let you see all the cards before they come up.
Ultron with all of the
Infinity Stones.
Infinity Stones would be awesome.
Would be amazing.
And obviously them it's just really cool. And they one of the fans as well, they also commented saying that it would be pretty interesting if they did a Civil War team versus team box.
Ooh, that could be cool.
Now, the only thing is all the characters are already out from the first season, so we're already used to those characters.
Even the second Civil War.
You could do maybe the new Avengers Civil War
you know what, though? Variants. There's not a lot of Skrulls. Secret Invasion could be done. That's the Skrulls, right? There's not a lot of them. Secret Invasion could be done. There's a lot of places.
There's a lot of things.
There's a lot of fun stuff out there to do, and this stuff that we know pretty good comic books. We're nowhere near some of the folks that really just know and been reading them and stay on. Just could go on and on and on. I mean, I don't want to compare myself to anybody like that. There's definitely people with a lot more knowledge about it, but I'm sure there's stuff that we're not even thinking of that they can hit on for sure.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, and it's I guess we just have to wait. We have to wait until that happens. Anyway, well. This was a short update.
And that's what we were trying to do from the beginning, right?
Obviously, we talk, because we're excited about these things. I'm sure you guys are as well at home or in the car, wherever you're listening. And, well, we will still keep you posted about the campaign. But until then, we will see you all tomorrow. And we hope you have a great day.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Take care.